This, I think, is the first time we've actually taken you to the back of the property. We are hoping to turn this into another pasture. It's about 10-12 acres that would be usable in the end. Oh, there goes a cardinal. It's a long ways off from being usable. As you can see, still loads of apple trees. I'm not seeing as much apple. Oh, there's some big ones through there. I don't know how to get over there yet. But it's a jungle. This is the part we jokingly have said we're just going to electric fence for horses. So we're quickly taking a walk down to this tree that Alex and James found that was so tasty. They must be crab apples. Anyways, they were tasty. We'll come back and pick some of those once they're a little bit redder for some jelly. Hey, you can go back if you want. Kids have abandoned me. The birds love it back here. You can kind of see there's some patches which are a little more cleared out than others. I think we're going to leave it pretty vegetated, but make some nice little meadows. As we said, it's probably going to just be electric fence for horses or maybe cows. That's always in discussion, but maybe that's a video for another time when we get some feedback from people on raising cows. I think our biggest concern with the switching to cows is it would be the demise of the goats. Once you start milking cows, I think you wouldn't bother milking goats. And we've worked pretty hard on our Oberhasli herd. Some nice apples on this tree here. Here at Tohi. Some of them are actually pretty big. Again, another nice little potential meadow spot. The wildlife loves our property. We have so many bees, so many birds. And being naturalists, we don't really want to ruin that or take it away. So we have to try some natural methods to use what we have to our advantage, but also leaving it to their advantage. We're really starting to see the waxwings and things like that in these apple trees now come fall. Well, it's not fall yet, but it's starting to feel like fall. Anyways, up through there. Well, you know what? We're this far. We'll do the trek. Hopefully I'm keeping it steady enough. And you can see a flock of waxwings there. Probably didn't see it. I'm too slow. We're going to cut out, there's like ash trees, things like that. We're going to let them get a little bit bigger and then cut them for firewood. We're getting back onto the rock here, so I don't think this would become a pasture at all. It's just going to be left as it is with the trail for us. Coming back to our meager woods, we've got a few oak trees. There's a couple of maples. We need to get a drone so we can actually show you. But basically right now, we are a little over 3/4 of the way back through the property. Our trail kind of comes to a point and then goes back up the other side. And if we go through past these cluster of trees here, there's a bit of a wetland and then the train tracks. It's amazing how quickly you get used to the sound of the train. I'll see if I can get down the trail. We haven't been down here in, oh my goodness. Like I say, Chris brush cut it a couple weeks ago there when we started the fencing. But prior to that, we'd been close to a month or so without coming down here. And you can see some big maples. We are at the trail there to go back to the wetland and the tracks. It's a little bit thick. We haven't brush cut that, so, and I haven't been back there since spring, and there's a lot of ticks and things. I'm sounding like Alex now with the reasons why I'm not going to do something. There's a beaver back there, I guess, in the spring. There's a nice pond, and there's always lots of ducks and herons and things like that. So maybe that'll be a future video, going to explore back there. Maybe we'll even capture a train shot one day. So I'm turning this here so you can see we are right at the point of our trail. So back that way is the trail back to the barn. And that connects up with the channel that we have been working on in our fencing videos, as you've seen. It goes all the way back to the little circle. And then that way, whoops, that way is the trail that I just came up. So we actually are at this point in the property, I believe it's 825 feet wide, I think, or thereabouts. So it is actually wide, but it's very vegetated and rocky, and we've left it that way, and we're going to probably leave it that way. The whole back, there's probably about 7, maybe 8 acres back here that we're just going to leave natural, maybe put some trails in, things like that. I think it'll be great. I think this is a good time to do this because it's still nice. There's still the trees and things like that, and you can see what we're having to deal with. In the winter when we made all these plans, it didn't look so intense because you didn't have the vegetation. So now we know this winter is when we'll come back here, when the vegetation's gone, and we'll start clearing out some trails and get some things going. But it's a beautiful property and we love it. And it lends itself to trail riding on the horses and things like that. There's just a lot of clearing still to go to get the usable space. That's where we're kind of at a standstill at the moment. But it will come, and we're finding all sorts of great things as we forage around on the property. I mean, it was loaded with wild blackberries and raspberries, and we've had the choke cherries and apples. Oh my gosh, the apples, as I've said, well over 350 trees. You know, some are loaded, some aren't. They all need pruning and tending, so it'll come again. That's going to be a 10-year project on its own. Yeah, we'll keep exploring and keep seeing what we find. You know, Chris does hunt, so hopefully maybe we'll get organized on that and he'll have a spot to hunt. I think the property is, like I said, we're at the back here, we're about 800 or 850 feet wide, and then you're about 2,000, I want to say it's 2,020 or something like that feet long for the property. So basically we are about 3/4 of a kilometer to walk from one end to the other. If I do the whole loop with our, we have a little birding app, we use eBird, and when you do a checklist on your phone, it tracks it. And when it tracks our route around here, it's 1 mile, 1.25 miles to go all the way around the loop. So that's a nice little trek. It's a great little stretch of property to have. When we put it into that perspective, it definitely is big. We're learning after coming from 7 acres that, yeah, 38 is a lot, and it's a lot to manage. I'm heading back now. Gonna pick up my apple bucket on the way. The kids are long gone. They were done an hour ago. So I just did a taste test, and these ones are absolutely gorgeous. But of course, the kids went back with my stick because they are nice eating apples. Once again, loving this place.